Alright everyone, hello. This is going to be, hopefully, a very short review of the ISU-152K, which will be sold at some point. So we'll look at this really quick. We're going to play a game in it. It'll be the best form possible, without, I guess we could even run a directive if we want to. But, let's look at this really quick. So my crew, I run Brothers in Arms on everybody, Deadeye, because I think it's worth on a casemate TD, because there's not much else you could use. It's really going to be overwhelmingly helpful. Situational awareness is a must in the commander. Sixth sense is a must. This thing has effectively no real armor outside of the gun mantlet, and even then, if it's a high enough pen gun, you will get penned there. Repairs as well is pretty critical, because if you get permatracked, it's the same issue with every casemate TD, TND5, you know, anything like this. You're gonna get, if you get tracked, you're done. Safe stowage, because this tank, like, on this side here, is basically just an entire ammo rack. Right here. We have clutch braking as well, because it's a must-have on non-turreted tanks. Firefighting, because you start to run out of skills a little bit towards the end here. But overall, you know, it's a pretty basic crew layout here for a Russian TD, in my opinion. Again, we are looking at the best equipment possible on it. All improved, fully, like, tuned up as well. 7.5%, 12.5, and 12.5. We are earning food, and that gets us the stats of the 286 base pen, which is sort of the, I don't know, the calling of the tank. I've said it before on my stream a bunch. I have a pretty big issue with Wargaming selling this. They used to have the ISU-152 tech tree with this same gun, but they've removed it and are now selling it back to you. On principle, this is very scummy, and I think it sets an awful precedent for future premiums. But we won't get into that at this point. There's nothing I could really do about it. We will compare them really quick. I want to make this review hopefully shorter than most of mine. The ISU-152, the tech tree version, is actually better than the premium version in the sense of raw, like, just the tank. This is obviously better because you have a credit earning potential, which is very valuable. But we look at this here. This is kitted out effectively the same with a more realistic loadout that you guys will have. So Brothers in Arms, clutch braking, situational awareness. You really should have that on your TD crews. Obviously not if you're just grinding up this line, but at a point, if you want to keep this tank, this is what I'd expect you to have. We are running the same thing on here. We're running also the tier 10 152 gun here. And if we look at them together, side by side, really the only thing that the 152K has over the tech tree is gun traverse limits left and right, along with, what's the other one? A little bit better traverse speed, which is very inconsequential. You also have more signal range, which, who cares? If we look at the stats, though, for the guns, you do get better base pen and better premium pen on the premium. However, the DPM on the ISU-152 tech tree is so much better. I mean, it already cuts down to a 13-second reload. Well, 13.9, it's basically 14. You could, if you wanted to, also run the improved equipment like I have, and you would lay tanks out. I mean, you could probably get this reload down to like 12.7 or 13.1 maybe, around that area, and it'll result in massive farm. Obviously, less pen, but it's 286 on the premium versus 260 on the tech tree. I mean, you have better aim time, you have better gun depression, you have better dispersion, you have better DPM. It's out and out just better. It's out and out just better. It's kind of good to see, if I'm being honest with you, because when you get down to it, we are hopefully all sick of Wargaming just releasing rather overpowered premiums. It's just a frustrating thing. This is more a frustrating cash grab, if that makes sense, rather than an overpowered premium. I don't think this is overpowered in any capacity. If one thing that's important for premiums is to note the shell cost. You have 1650 base credit per shot on the base pen. You really don't need much premium. If you guys have been on my stream or you've seen other YouTube videos, I generally carry a lot more premium than this, but this tank just doesn't need it sitting at tier 8. A 286 pen is pretty comparable for anything you're really going to fight, if we're being realistic. Premium is going to be 4800, which I think is the same as the Object 140, but you deal like over 2 times the damage. You keep your damage, so it's not like the SU-100Y or something where you get more pen for, or more damage for premium ammo. It's just more pen, as we're all used to. One thing that's really interesting about this tank, and it's going to be super frustrating, it gets 90 millimeters of HE pen for 950 alpha, which is really gross. If this thing sees, I mean, you could even hit some tier 10s if you hit them right, you know? We're looking at STB, Leopard, Progetto 65, stuff like that. You will devastate them with this amount of HE pen. And anything lower tier, Jesus Christ, God forbid you fight like a Cromwell. I mean, you could one-shot a Cromwell with AP, but like, even a Comet, you will delete most of his HP, leaving him on maybe 5% of his HP. As far as consumables, small kit, and food. I run food on everything. It's just my default deal. But we are 6 minutes in, and that should be all we've really got to talk about. We can look at the camo here at 20%. That's fine. I don't have a camo crew. If you did have a camo crew, you can get this thing really sneaky. The view range is atrocious, as you'd expect. 2.7 aim time, 3.7 or 0.37, sorry, dispersion. Which, again, we are looking at the best this thing can get with improved equipment on everything, or bounty equipment. It's the same thing. We'll make a gun rammer here as well. Let's do aim tuning, just for this battle. Purely down to the fact that getting that aim time down is almost more valuable than lowering the reload. You could do vents and get both, actually, now that I'm realizing, but don't tell anybody about that. Let's get in there and we'll play our first game live, and we'll give it a look. Hopefully we don't have too long queue. Hey, instant queue, and we are on Himmelsdorf, which is okay. We're top tier, fighting tier 7s. As we talked about in the garage, things such as the Super Hellcat, you don't even need to fire HE to one-shot them. You will devastate them. Like, violently so. It'll be pretty brutal. So we'll load AP. There's no need for premium here. Even the Chrysler GF, we don't have to be that afraid of, if I'm being entirely honest. It's a very easy farm generally. Especially if you load premium, you can go through like the turret cheeks, for example, very easily. So I think I'm going to start by trying to play up in mid. We'll set up in the window over here at like G6 if you are familiar with that. But we'll see what we can do. We have our light tanks pushing around mid, looking for shots down the middle lane, which I totally agree with. There's a bat chat. I have no real shot there, but we'll look to tuck into this window and see if we can catch somebody on the cross or pushing over by the 1357. Yeah, right there. So we got this guy in our sights, we send around, and this thing, I've said it before to people who asked me on stream, this thing is very much the old ISU-152. It is, without a question, a troll cannon that will deal monstrous amounts of damage to your enemy. That 1357's playing very greedily. We'll see if we can nail him here, if this guy pulls back or something. What a shame he's suicided. See if the 229 pushes up here, maybe? We should be able to pen, like, the cheeks of his turret or something. Just with this caliber of gun and pen combined. Look here for a shot, I suppose. Come on. They're pushing hill very aggressively. What? How is my whole team dead already? Oh my god! Another one into the dirt. Damn. I'll be real with you. This is a shame. But this is the kind of game you can expect to see. And sort of nice. The capability of the tank. I prefer to do, even these steamrolls, a live game, just because I firmly believe by cherry-picking the best game possible, it doesn't give you, the viewer or possible customer, a realistic experience of what you're going to see if you buy this tank, right? Obviously, it comes down to the player a lot as well, right? If you're not a very good player, you'll have less consistently good games, right? Nice shot. So I sort of enjoy just picking the very first game I played it to showcase a vehicle. I firmly believe it just shows you a more realistic interpretation of it. Well, my team melted, but it didn't go, like, the worst ever. I could load HE for the Kanonen. Ooh. I'm waiting to see if the... Oh, Pantera went that way. Okay, Kanonen push the other way. We're going to keep our AP loaded then. So Hill's completely wiped. We could set up on this corner here and hopefully get a shot. Obviously, we got to be scared of the Kanonen, but these guys know I'm here. I was lit here, and they're going to push. We should have a free shot here in a second. You can see just how bad that aim time really is. Get a nice shot in 887. That is a mortifying amount of damage. So we see one on cap. We know one's pushing this way. This is the beauty of this tank, though. Because it's a premium, if you fire one round, you're going to be dealing a lot of damage, and that is going to translate to a lot of credits as well. Kanonen flanked. I want to back up here and try and grab this Pantera if I can. I doubt he's going to push. This guy YOLO's in. If I had HE, that would have been a full pen. I should have backed into him, and I would have killed him with the ram. That was a major misplay. I could have and should have killed him with that ram kill. Or with that ram. Pushing, get a kill here. There's nothing else I could do. Damn. If I didn't move away, I could have rammed him for all his HP. But shit, dude. That's what you can expect in this tank. You could deal massive amounts of damage if you're allowed to exist and fire. Provided that gun behaves, which the BL-10, I think Jingles crowned it as, hey, rank 100. Or 99, wait, what? I don't know. Jingles crowned it the Troll Cannon. I believe it was Jingles many, many years ago at this point. It is very much that now. I think if we look at the vehicle details here, or no, hold on. If we research it? Yeah, it is the BL-10. It is literally that ISU from many years ago. So in short, do I think you should buy it? On principle, no. I'm rather upset with Wargaming taking something from the players and then selling it back to them. I think it's very scummy. It's a very poor precedent. That said, purely if we're looking at it as a vehicle, it's rather inflexible. It's not very fast. The gun's very obtrusive. Or inflexible, I suppose, makes more sense than intrusive. But the pen is great, and the damage it deals is great. It will not let you down as far as damage. If you're penning your shots, sure. I mean, even a low roll is like 560 something. No matter what, if you're hitting and penning, you are going to be dealing massive damage. It doesn't much care for tier 8, tier 9, or tier 10. That gun it'll kill everybody just the same. It's very capable. But I think that'll be it. We have a nice short review of the ISU-152K. Hopefully I didn't waste too much of your time. All in all, is there anything you should buy it? Meh. I wouldn't recommend it just because of the principle. But anyway, that's that. Before I ramble on any longer, I will see you guys on stream. Hopefully you enjoyed the review. Let me know in the comments what I could have done better. And that'll be it. Adios, folks.